I can break an apple in half with my bare hands.
David's team.
What is your technique?
I take it in the hands.
Yes. Are your hands bare at this point?
Of course they're bare.
Yes.
Friction's very much part of this this equation. You must pull it, I'm going to say east to west. A lot of people think you need to twist. You don't need to twist.
You don't need to twist.
Really?
You just
don't need to
pull apart.
Pull it apart.
How do you get the
Pull the
grip?
apple apart.
Won't your hands just slide away from it? I'd have thought you'd need to twist.
If you twist, you fail. Twisting equals tears.
So you just grip the apple in your hands and then fling them apart, and you have two half apples.
No, I rip it apart.
Yeah.
The way you were miming it then, there's like downward pressure from the thumbs, almost as if you're trying to open it like a book.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like? Because I can believe that more than the just grip, bang!
Yes. No, David, that's fair enough. Yes.
It's just sort of, you're almost like, you insert...
Oh, but I so wish it was bang. It's not.
No, you're inserting the thumbs to try and pull it apart that way.
No insertion.
All right.
No,
But
that's
downward
the grip.
pressure.
Downward pressure. And there it is.
So where are the thumbs? Are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
You know where the thumbs are, David.
Where are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
Yes.
No insertion or penetration?
No, absolutely not. No, the thumbs are used for gripping, not for ripping. That's what I was taught. And if you remember that... If you can remember that, you too will be parting apples.
How long have you done this for?
I have done it for a long time. What I used to do to entertain was I used to take hard-boiled eggs, peel them, I can still do it, and I could take the shell off in one. And you actually peel the membrane rather than trying to... Don't be all rough-handed and don't, take your time. Off it comes bang.
And when did you...
That's the correct way to present. With an apple, it's this.
When did you first discover that you could do the apple? How did it come about? How did it come to be?
I can't remember the first time I did it. I can remember the feeling. But I can't remember the first time I did it.
What was the feeling?
The feeling was magnificent.
Right, David, is that the truth?
I don't think so, but it could be. Can we leave it at that?
Yeah, that's fine. OK, on to the next round. No, we can't.
I agree with that. I'd love to see him... I hope it's true, because then they'll make him do it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it.
Yeah. If it's not true...
Make him do it anyway.
Try?
So what's it going to be?
Oh, I really want it to be true, but it isn't true, I don't think.
You can't pull an apple apart, can you?
You can't just rip it in half. I so want you to be able to.
If you and I can't, sure.
And I can't.
I've never tried.
Have you ever tried?
If I had an apple here, and I can have a few
But I think
goes.
if those two can't do it, David, with the greatest respect, it's highly unlikely you're going to pull it off.
Tremendously, frighteningly strong hands, as I found out to my own cost. So you think it's a lie, then?
I'm afraid I do,
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'll go with the giant.
You're going to say it's a lie. All right, you're saying it's a lie. Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes. Well, guess what I've got under the desk? My trusty box of apples. It's a proper apple. Ready,
Yes.
Bob?
It's a big one.
Thank you. Not you, him.
Does your husband play cricket?
I love that sort of thing. Where shall I do it?
I really hope he can't do it. Yeah!
Whoa!
I once set fire to my house with a box of fireworks.
David Mitchell's team.
Was this on purpose?
It was done out of ignorance.
What age were you?
I was somewhere round about 7.
I want to know where you grew up, where a 7-year-old can buy a box of fireworks.
I bought them in the shop near where I lived in Middlesbrough. It was a box for 2 and 6 of standard fireworks. That was the brand.
Standard brand. That sounds exciting. Standard fireworks. Yeah. A normal level of excitement will be engendered. For a bonfire night, you will forget.
But it says standard, but then it's...
Well, that is standard for a firework.
So you're in your home, and you're 7 or 8 years old.
I'm 7 and I'm on my own, yeah.
On your own?
Yeah, and
What
it was on one of the fireworks, I think it was the sparklers, it said, not suitable for indoor use. Which, at that age, makes you think, that means they're okay.
Could you just not read the word not when you were obeying?
Did you think not was the brand? You go, oh, lovely. I love that not brand food. It's not for human consumption.
know that logic that says, well, people have obviously tried them indoors.
I've discovered they're not suitable.
Yeah.
So therefore, I won't use them indoors because I want to live.
If you look at a big firework, it won't say not suitable for indoors. It's obvious.
Yeah. Right.
But on the sparklers, they chose to put it on.
So what happened?
I lit the sparkler. The sparks went into the box of fireworks, a standard box, and set them off. And I carried the box of fireworks, now beginning to light, into the kitchen, and I threw them into the kitchen. I thought it would be more suitable.
I think you're right. The kitchen, of all the rooms, is the most suitable for fireworks, isn't it?
Because of the oven, the gas, the stove. There is fire naturally in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's a lot of... And there's more... It's more wipe down.
Yes.
Less cloth.
So what happened then?
They went off in the
What was the sound like? Was it bing, wee?
No, these were only standard. And, you know, I remember, as I'm sat here now, wiping the scorch marks off the floor and thinking that my mum's going to kill me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be in big trouble. Then I went back into the living room. Unbeknownst to me, I dropped one. And the living room was completely engulfed in flames.
It sounds to me that if you're on your own at home at 7, your mum's pretty laid back anyway.
She said, son, will you sit here and look after these fireworks? Whilst I go out to the bingo.
So, you lit the sparkler. A spark went into the standard box.
Yes.
The box starts to go... You go, uh-oh, I must get them into the most suitable room for fireworks.
Yes.
The kitchen. No need to go beyond the kitchen to the outdoors.
Yeah. Mum said don't go out.
It's good to know there was at least one rule in your house.
What time of day did all this happen?
This happened mid-afternoon.
Oh, dear, so you didn't really get the benefit of it.
Who put the fire out?
I went to next door where Miss Best lived. She was bless her, she was about 80. And I knocked on their door and said, my house is on fire. And she said, do you know, I thought it was.
So what happened then?
She called the fire brigade. They fired their water hoses throughout the house.
Yes.
Ruining it.
Even the rooms where there's no fire.
Not ruining it.
Yeah.
You do know that before they put out fires, it's already ruined, don't you?
Lee.
You're making this house all wet. It was lovely and warm before.
And it's the water damage that knackers the house.
Is it? Not the fire?
Not the fire. If they would use their boots to put it out. Honestly, the entire house, that's it. I was in a family of 4 children, and we were homeless.
Where? Come on, keep it light.
No, I'm just saying.
Where were all the other kids while you were alone with the fire? Why did you take 3
They
children
were looking
out and
after
leave
fireworks in other people's houses.
So when you say you were homeless, how much of the house did the inferno claim?
It's gone. Entire
That's
house
what, the
gone.
whole
house gone. Yeah.
The whole house burnt
Whole house
down?
burnt down.
So how much did you leave in the living room? The fireworks in the kitchen have only caused a few scorches.
Yeah.
What did you leave in the living room?
And now, don't you feel stupid for saying standard fireworks?
Yeah.
I tell you,
really.
well,
I think you were stupid for lighting a sparkler indoors.
If you don't know what you dropped in the living room, is there a chance that it's just a coincidence?
No, it could be.
Then it might not have been your fault.
That's what I said to the press.
Your fault.
Press? What press? Who did you speak to?
Local press.
Because they came to the house while it was burning?
Yeah, you know, they're their hats on, trilbies, sniffing around.
With those little bits of paper in the notebook? Were they called things like Scoop McLean?
I believe he was called Ron Waffle.
Sorry, Ron Waffle?
It was either him, the other ace reporter on the Gazette was John Caramel. It was one of them two.
Caramel and Waffle.
Honestly.
The question is whether you think Bob has been telling the truth.
Well, I thought it seemed very plausible until we heard about caramel and waffle.
I think he thinks he's telling the truth, but I think what's happened at some point, he's seen a film in which this has happened.
He saw Backdraft.
And is now convinced that it happened to him. I think it's a lie.
Sarah.
I was going to say I want it to be true, but that sounds really horrible. I think it might be true.
Well, I think it's true. I think it's true.
So you're going to go for true?
Yeah.
OK, Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Oh. So please welcome this week's special guest, Keith. Bob, first of all. Bob, what is Keith to you?
This is Keith. He's my oldest friend, and when we were at school together, we hid a dictaphone in the classroom ceiling to confuse our teacher.
David Harewood?
This is my old teacher, Keith. I once had to claim I wasn't me when I met him in a cafe, as I was in character preparing for Homeland.
And finally, Lee, your relationship with Keith.
This is Keith, and his hawk... Yes. Yes, I'll admit, David, it's a difficult start. Well, go with it. Yeah. This is Keith, and his hawk was supposed to land on my arm at a village fete, but instead stole the wig from the man next to me and flew off into a tree.
So there we are. It's Bob's classroom prankster, it's David's blanked buddy, or it's Lee's hawk handler. David's team, where do you start?
So, yes, David, he was a teacher at your school?
Very briefly.
What, a whole lesson?
I mean, I don't know if... I mean, I would see him.
But he didn't teach you?
No, not teach me.
He was someone who hung around a school, and he was... Charitably, you assumed he was a teacher.
But if he was at the school a short period of time, how did you even recognise him in the cafe?
Oh, I knew it was him. He walked into the cafe and he said, "Hi, David," and basically I blanked him. It was literally the month before I went to America when I was doing Homeland, and I'd just been to see my dialect coach. He basically said I have to stay in my American voice. So
Could you not have explained that to him in your American voice? I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm doing a wall here.
I don't think it was ever as good as that, John, to be fair.
I basically just had to say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm remembering you now. Do the voice a bit more straight.
I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh, that did weird things to me.
So your dialect coach said, you're in this role, you need to stay in this character.
Yeah.
Now the lesson's over, let's go to a very public place.
Yeah.
We are likely to encounter several people.
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to stay in that voice. You have to have the confidence to stay in your voice.
Why can't you just, turn it on like an actor?
Oh, that's a cheap shot, Sarah.
I have to say, I did phone him up afterwards and apologise.
So you had his number?
You stayed in touch with the teacher you barely remember.
Would it be fair to say the hawk's looking a bit more plausible?
So, David, who would you like to question next?
Bob, remind us of your allegation.
When we were at school together, we hid a dictaphone machine in the ceiling tiles to interrupt the lesson.
So not to record, but to play stuff?
Yeah.
What sort of stuff?
Well, it was important to keep a gap at the beginning, so we let it run, for about 15 minutes. And then there was the noise of a fly. For a brief period, then another period, to confuse the teacher.
Where would you get the noise from the fly? You'd make the noise.
We'd make the noise ourselves,
Let's
I'm
hear
not
your
paying
fly
for no
noise.
fly to do it.
Let's hear your fly.
You know,
It does sound
Bee,
like a fly.
can I hear you bee?
we didn't do a bee.
Do you know how to do bee? Just like that fly.
Oh,
A
no,
bit louder.
it's more wholesome if it's a bee, isn't it?
Show me the difference, David.
Well, I don't know, I'm not...
Do
well,
it.
I'd say, OK, a bee would be a sort of a foot...
No, that's a
Whereas a
bumblebee.
fly is
Yeah. Very good. That's good. Very good.
Right.
Do you see the way he just slipped straight in and out of character?
So yes, there was silence,
Yeah.
then a little bit of fly, silence, a little bit of fly, and then quite loudly, but not to frighten anyone, the word wolf. Then more silence. A bit more silence. Then Speedway Stadium. Like that.
Speedway Stadium.
Do you know, the idea was just to say kind of random things. He was a really nice teacher called Bill Whitlingham.
How did Bill Whitlingham react to these random sounds?
Well, Mr. Whitlingham left the room and said, "Can you sort this out by the time I've gone back?" So whatever it is that's going on. And there was a cupboard in the corner where, interesting, it had like exercise books in it, pens and that, but it also had, in a little cage, a hand lion, which is a robotic, it's a battery-operated thing.
What? Are you just saying any words that come into your head? In any order?
It's a hand lion, and if
A hand lion?
It's a robotic, animatronic hand lion, yeah? And if you'd been particularly good, he would put it on your hand and set it to lick it. Lick it. If you'd been particularly...
Was this like a clockwork lion?
No, it was remote control.
It was remote control?
Remote control. He had the controller in his desk, and he said, you've
the
been
actual
such a
hand
good
lion-
boy. Get out the hand lion, and you'll get a lick. And if you'd been bad, you put him on your hand and he'd strike. He'd strike at your hand.
So the hand lion had two settings. It could lick or it could strike.
Yes, good boy, bad boy.
Right, very
Good boy,
sensible.
bad boy. Now, the only problem with it, of course, was...
What, this story?
It would... The only problem was, of course, if the batteries got low, it would get constipated. No, anyway, but in this cupboard, so we got up on the cupboard.
You climb onto the cupboard that
Yes.
the hand lion is housed in.
Probably asleep.
Right, you reach up onto the ceiling tile,
Take out the dictaphone.
switch it off.
Yep.
Mr. Whitlingham
Yes.
comes back in.
Yes.
What happens?
He's nervously awaiting another, edict from above.
Yeah.
Doesn't come, we carry on with the lesson. British government and politics it was.
There was a lesson called British Government and Politics.
Yeah.
Whole year on that.
2 years, it was A-level.
For these sixth formers,
Yes.
a hand lion... a hand lion that can either lick or strike was what was used to express praise or the opposite to these 17 or 18-year-old students.
And it was very effective.
All right. Would you like to move on to the final claim?
So, Lee, tell the story about Keith.
I was at Village Fete, and
Why were you at a village fete?
I was helping out.
What village?
Thames Ditton.
Why were you helping out at Thames Ditton Fete?
Because I don't live too far away from there, and they asked me to help out, and I did a few little things, like I did a bit of tombola, a bit of announcing. Then I went over to judge the pig racing. The usual things you do at a fete, you know.
The pig racing?
Yeah. I don't know why I judged it, because surely first past the post, but...
Well, no,
I was doing a case of a dead heat.
and what happened with the hawk and Keith and the wig?
One of the things I had to do was to volunteer to stand there and learn. He had the little headpiece on where he'd teach the crowd basic falconry, I believe we call it. I'd stick the glove on and then hold this little thing. I don't know what it was, but I'm doing this.
A
I'm a bit
small
nervous.
morsel of meat.
Thank God you've been to one, because I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm holding a small morsel of meat. Then what happens? And then...
Then the swan comes down.
The swan came down. So the hawk comes over, right? It comes over. There's a person missing from this story, and it's the mayor, right? The local mayor. I can't say it in I always struggle.
Mayor.
The mayor. The mayor, right? The mayor of London.
Standing next to a horse.
Yeah, so the local... So the mayor is doing his bit, but the mayor has got a wig on, right? The hawk flies over to go and land on my hand, but he lands on the mayor's head, and so he gets caught up in his what should we call them? Talons. He gets caught up in the talons, and then in the sort of panic, the bird sort of... And he can't release this wig, and he flies off, and he goes into the tree. I said, why didn't he go for the meat? And he said, I genuinely think the gold chain caught his eye. There was a bit of confusion for a second, and he just did a bit of an emergency landing on a mare's wig at Thamesden Fate. What's there not to believe?
At that point, did you cry, oh no, the mare's hers over there?
All right, so David's team is Keith, Bob's classroom prankster, David's blanked buddy, or Lee's hawk handler.
I was believing Bob until the fact that he was 18 and the hand lying. I'm leaning towards David.
I think I'm leaning towards David.
I think it's Bob, and I think he panicked because he knew we were onto him, so he went on a ridiculous riff about a hand line to throw us off the scent. I'll go Bob, but I've been wrong before.
Tara?
I'm going to go David.
We'll go David.
You're saying David. Mm-hmm. Keith, please reveal your true identity.
My name's Keith, and Bob and I recorded voices and hid the dictaphone in the ceiling.
The police once ordered me to leave town, unspecified, because I was frightening the locals.
David's team, what do you think?
Could you give us some context, Bob?
I'll give you the name of the town. It was Castle Douglas.
Ah, where is that?
It's southwest Scotland.
And why were you in Castle Douglas?
Was it a tour or something?
No, it was a long time ago. I was only 17, 18, that kind of age. And
a numerical age, that kind.
Yeah.
Rather than iron or bronze. That's a different kind of age.
I was with two friends trying to get as close to the Gulf Stream as I possibly could.
What? What do you mean you wanted to get close to the Gulf Stream?
It seemed such an appealing, far-off, miraculous thing, this hot stream of water so near us, that it was hard to believe in it just from the textbooks.
But it's not like a spa. It's a massive flow within the ocean.
Yeah, but
you can't see it.
Well, if you're at the Logan Botanical Gardens...
There's a lovely view of the Gulf Stream.
No, but you can see the effects of the Gulf Stream. You know, it's like a tropical gardens, and so in that way you sense the influence of the Gulf Stream. Well, no, it's extraordinary.
I know all teenagers are absolutely mad on the Gulf Stream. They can't get enough of it, and it's...
And flowers.
But
that was one reason amongst many.
But the police of Castle Douglas don't mind the teenagers who'll flock there to admire the effect of the Gulf Stream. So what was it that you did that put their noses out of joint?
We scared the locals, apparently, because we were wearing very grotesque masks.
Why were you wearing masks? If you're going to gardens, why would you wear a mask?
Ah, well, here's the thing. That's a perfect question.
Yeah. Just before you answer it, have a minute.
we were travelling in a Morris Minor, and we were sleeping in the car. There was three of us. There's me mate Harry Harriman and Steve.
Steve Harriman.
No, Steve, by the way. He was. He was called Steve, by the way.
He was. Steve, by the way, as in incidentally.
Yes. Anyway, we had these...
You're wearing these masks?
We're wearing these grotesque...
Why are we wearing these masks?
We're wearing these masks because we didn't have anywhere to sleep and we were sleeping in the car.
Right.
They'd been given us by Harry Harriman's mum, yeah, to keep us warm at night because of the heat.
What, grotesque latex masks?
Yes. They were just old men's masks, but they were to keep us warm. Harry Harriman's mum she sold these stuff from home, and she sold another thing which was called a jobble top, yeah, which was a bobble hat that made it into a jumper. and the big bobble was at the back, and it buttoned down the front. And that was...
I'm telling you now, right, if this is a lie, and they end up saying lie, I will say to you, why did you make it more difficult for yourself? by mentioning the joggle top, or whatever it was called.
Because I'm imagining my sleeping arrangements and think, yes, we had the latex masks on and these giant, like, what they're called jobble tops.
Right,
Okay. So, if you're wearing a sleeping mask and you're scaring the locals, like, normally the locals would be in bed when you're going to sleep, and it's dark, and you're in your car and you got a scary mask on. You know.
No, we were just on our daytime drive from Dundee to Castle Douglas.
With masks on.
As we went past
Keep
people,
your faces warm.
we were staring at them with our scary masks.
Why did you not remove... Because I would say, from my experience of sleeping all night in a classic car in a latex mask and a jobble top, you get quite clammy. And so in many ways, it's quite a relief to take the latex mask off for the next day's drive.
Yes, and
not to mention how it helps being able to see where you're going.
Yeah. But then, no, of course, we take the mask off in the morning, but then round about midday, you wanted to put it back on.
Yeah. At what point did the police get involved? Didn't the police get
We
involved?
parked up in Castle Douglas, right next to the shop, because we wanted to get one of their famous Scotch pies. As we came out of the shop, I was grabbed by a policeman, and it was a sergeant, by the way.
Sergeant, by the way. So that's how you got away with it, because you said, don't worry, that's my dad.
Maybe it was.
I'm a sergeant, by the way. I think,
So the sergeant,
by the way,
he took me to the police station, and
he arrested you?
Yes, put in a room, and then the sergeant and a plainclothes detective came in.
Plainclothes detective? Oh, yeah. What? You said CID have now got involved.
And then they said, you're going to have to wait here. We've sent for a specialist from Edinburgh.
and then, as we sat in, it came in and said, right, what's with the funny faces? They said, what's with the funny faces?
So what did you say?
Well, we explained what had happened, that we had these funny faces, that we slept in them, and that we're terribly sorry to have caused any offence.
So presumably then they released you?
Sergeant, by the way, followed us till we were out of the city limits. So that's my story. It's quite a holiday.
What do you think?
I know what I think.
What do you think?
I think it's true. You think it's true? Yeah. That's not what I think. Cian, what do you think?
I'm going to go untrue.
OK, Cian's going untrue. Adil's going true. David?
My initial reaction is it's a lie. Let's say it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie?
Yeah.
Bob Mortimer.
Yes?
Was that story true? Or was it a lie?
It was true. As a teenager, I used to terrorise my neighbourhood with a game I invented called Theft and Shrubbery.
What were the rules of theft and shrubbery?
Can I first of all say my memories of this are a bit sketchy?
Always handy for this game.
Yeah. No, but I'm an older gentleman. They're more like just fingerprints on an abandoned handrail.
Even while you poetically describe the ageing process, another part of your brain is inventing the rules of a fictional game.
It's Theft and Shrubbery. Yeah. It's a game that I played in my youth, in my teens, on the Lakes estate in Middlesbrough. I would probably be 14 or 15. I hope that's all the information you need.
As to what this game involved.
Yes, of course.
Of course. In which case, I'm satisfied and there's no need to tell me. What were the rules?
There would have to be a gang of you. I would usually be with Staver and Bagger.
Well, I didn't realise you knew hobbits as a child.
Neil Overall, Jerry Dungaree's son. Of course, he
didn't take his father's name.
Hated him. Hated him. So, and Gary Cheeseman would be there. The reason he was called Cheesy is because his mum used to give him a cheese. Do you know the cheese slice? Yeah. Oh, yeah. To take out with him when we were hanging around the shops and that, because she thought it was good for his spots. She when he's person slightly.
Surely it's because of his surname Cheeseman.
No.
Surely that was part of it.
Do you know, Gary Cheeseman was a big lad, yeah? A very big head. Sniper's dream, they used to call him. Oh, he's such a nice... The thing is, he's such a nice lad. And he was a...
I love these points in the show where we say, Bob, let's all gather around the fireside and you can tell us tales of your youth.
So the rules of the game, of course you will know.
Theft
the
and
rules
shrubbery.
of the game. Theft and...
Shrubbery.
They're relatively simple. You had to creep into the back of someone's house and observe the family watching the telly or whatever they're doing, yeah?
It's getting a bit sinister now, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
Is this at night?
This is on the evening time, yeah.
So the family, as it were, backlit by the domestic lighting?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you'd find one where the curtains were open, yeah? Go to the rear of the garden and then you'd slowly walk towards the window, right? Try not to disturb them, and you'd chant, increasing the volume as you went, "We do beg your pardon. But we are in your garden." And then you gradually get closer and closer to the window, and as soon as you were seen, that's when shrubbery comes in.
Which was what?
You were not allowed to escape via the front of the property. You had to go across all the fences. Because you're teenage, what you're really waiting for is someone to make a noise or give yourself away, so that you all have to go run through all the gardens.
That's the shrubbery part.
That's the shrubbery
What's the
part.
theft part?
The theft is we just always felt that we were stealing something from them. I don't know. Their privacy, their dignity.
So you're going up the garden saying louder and louder, "We do beg your pardon, we are in your garden." We do beg your pardon, we are in your garden. You're shouting.
How loud
Elderly people who are hard of hearing, you could be going, "We do beg your pardon, we are in your garden," before they notice it.
Yeah.
This game can't have lasted, I'm imagining, very long before people kind of rumbled you and...
No, it was just one of the games, that we did. It could be theft and shrubbery night. There was another night where we used to take fruit from a fruit vendor's wagon and throw that up in the air and just let it drop on our heads.
Something tells me you played that quite a lot, Bob. Next time, don't use melons.
Cheeseman was very good at it.
So what do you think, David?
Steve, what do you
My
think?
concern is that the details are so utterly believable and sound like they're real that if it wasn't actually a game, he spent an awful lot of time looking through people's windows.
I'm coming down on the side of truth.
Yeah, I know it sounds odd, but I just believe it.
You're going to say true? Yeah. OK, so, theft and shrubbery. Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth.
So please welcome this week's special guest, Michael. Right, we'll start with Diane. What is Michael to you?
This is Michael. I once punched him in the face because I thought he was a ghost.
Bob, how do you know Michael?
This is Michael, and after cutting his hair, I got a job on a campsite as a hairdresser.
And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Michael?
This is Michael. Together, we helped free a donkey that had trapped itself in the cubicle of a seaside toilet.
So there we have it. Is Michael Diane's ghostly guy, Bob's campsite client, or Lee's donkey do-gooder? David's team, where would you like to start?
Well, Diane, where were you when you mistook Michael for a ghost?
I was backstage at the Theatre Royal Bath.
And what were you doing there?
I was in a play.
What happened? You were in the dark, waiting to go on the wings?
I was in the wings.
In the wings, waiting to go on?
And I'd been told a ghost story about this. That the
where was
Theatre Royal
Michael?
Bath is haunted.
What was the story?
Well, that the theatre was haunted. They said that about once a week, this ghost, a man, with white hair would float around the theatre.
So you heard
So
that
then I'm
story.
standing in the wings.
Uh-huh.
I turn round and I see... Well, I know it's Michael now, but at the time I thought it was the ghost because of the hair. And I sort of inadvertently punched him.
And what was he wearing?
He was wearing quite dark clothes because he was, you know, working backstage. He looked like he was kneeling on some sort of prop. So he looked like he didn't have any legs. That's what made me think, oh, my God, it's the ghost.
So he sort of sidled up and knelt on something.
Yeah.
I have to say, I have slightly less sympathy for Michael now. I realise that what he did is he sort of crept up behind you and knelt there. That is slightly creepy behaviour, isn't it? Yeah.
I did ask him why he was kneeling on the bookcase.
Yeah. But I imagine at that point he was also asking you why you hit him.
Yeah.
Did he answer you? Was he able to say why he was kneeling on there?
Yeah. He said there weren't any chairs backstage.
All right, who next?
OK, Bob, you cut Michael's hair, and this was on a campsite.
Yeah.
How did you come to... Because you're not a hairdresser, are you?
I'm a hairdresser, David.
You previously worked as a hairdresser, had you?
I'm from a family, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. And in my family tradition is that the eldest is a priest, then a lawyer, then a teacher, and then a hairdresser. So it fell to me to take up the scissors. I was given my first set of scissors when I was 13.
I actually had a pair of scissors when I was younger than that.
Were you the 4th child?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was more for, you know, cutting out bits of coloured paper.
Oh, no, these were Japanese steels. These were Yasakis.
Right, OK. So you were given these hairdressing scissors at the age of 14?
Yes.
Had you undergone any further training or just were encouraged to experiment?
Well, here's the rub. Because Michael, or Mickey, as you know, Mickey the Drink, he's...
Why is he called Mickey the Drink?
Anyway, so, he was one of the first people that I ever gave a haircut to as a young boy. He was one of my friends. And then, fast forward to 1982. I go to the World Cup in Spain. There was Michael, Billy the Pigeon... Gentle Kent.
Billy the Pigeon?
Gentle Kent, yeah.
Why is he called Billy the Pigeon? Oh, he's found his way home.
No, he's a pigeon. Because he had like a fat chest. We all went to Spain. We were on the campsite for the England fans. I, as always, gave Mickey his haircut. And the one-man army from Nottingham, the Nottingham Forest fan, caused all the trouble out there. He demanded that he had a haircut.
What trouble did he cause out there?
Well, for example, he rushed to the cafe that we're in and threw a coin like that. Could have damaged anyone. Luckily, it went straight in the slot machine and won the jackpot. It was really rather simple story. So I cut Mickey's hair, I'd done since he was 13.
So you'd cut his hair regularly. You first did when he was 13.
When he was 13, one of the first people...
You were his regular hairdresser.
No, that would be a lie, but I would always cut Mickey's hair. Yeah. I was seen doing this, and before you knew it, over the course of the next 10 days, I probably did 50 to 60 haircuts.
And were you paid for these haircuts?
I probably was, but in kind.
Right.
Oh,
because, the only thing any of these English fans could say was huevo solo, and that got you an egg sandwich. And I seem to remember that people, because I was cutting hair, it was always in the morning, that someone would bring me, oh, mate, you're busy cutting hair, you have a huevo solo.
So you were paid in egg sandwiches?
I think maybe I was.
And you did 50 haircuts over how many days?
I think that's probably 8 days.
So you're having 50 egg sandwiches over 8 days?
I mean, I'm interested in the haircuts themselves.
Yeah.
Was there a signature style? It was the early 80s. Were there mullets going on? I mean, what was the look?
It was a feathered look. I was expert at. It was called, where I'm from, it's called the foffer. You'll probably think of it like Rod Stewart.
Oh, it's a lovely look.
Layered at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you still cut hair now?
Oh, not so much now, Rob.
To be honest with you,
I can't do the new cuts.
what? Did you hear that? I can't do the new cuts.
the new cuts.
Right, what about Lee and the donkey?
So, Lee, tell us your story.
I was at the seaside. I went to
Whereabouts?
Blackpool.
When was this?
This was last year, believe it or not.
Last year?
Only last year since the last series and why it hasn't cropped up so far.
Fair enough.
On holiday, or were you summer seasoning?
Summer seasoning?
Doing a summer season?
I'm not a juggler.
Or were you...
They have comedians in Blackpool.
Or were you giving a keynote speech at the Conservative Party conference?
Or I was doing a summer season. No, I was on a little weekend break. I decided to take my family to Blackpool.
What sort of loos are these?
Public toilets on Blackpool seafront.
So you go into the loo.
I go into the loo
where's
to use the toilet.
Where's the donkey?
The donkey is in the cubicle. The door was shut, and I did that thing where I looked underneath, and I just saw... I said, you belong, mate.
Which way was the donkey?
Which way?
Which way in was he?
He was actually facing outwards, so the bottom was stuck in the cubicle and the head was sticking out the front.
So he reversed in, did he?
No, he didn't reverse in. The toilet reversed up to him. Yes, he reversed in. OK. It turns out someone that's witnessed this happen...
Yeah.
He'd gone into the toilet...
Who is this person who witnessed this happen?
It was some guy was in there.
Some other guy, not Michael.
There's a guy...
And he goes, I tell you what's happened here.
Yeah.
This donkey, and what did he say?
I walked in and I went, blimey, there's a donkey stuck in the cubicle. And the man told us, this donkey has wandered in from the beach, you know, where they do the donkey rides, and then someone had used the hand dryer, and he's freaked, ran round, got disorientated, and then reversed into a cubicle. And at this point now, Michael was in there, because the other fellow went out. He said, I'm not dealing with it, I've got to go.
I'm just the one that's here to explain the scenario.
He said, the guy said, I'm not dealing with this one, I've just got a leopard out of the sink. You can do this one. So he goes out, and the donkey's back end was literally stuck inside the cubicle.
How did you get the donkey out?
I pulled the reins as hard as he had reins. That's why we knew he wasn't a wild donkey. There's a lot of wild donkeys as well. I'm pulling at his reins like that, and Michael sort of tried to lean over the back, and he had his beach towel with him, and gently gave him a little, I wouldn't say a whip, that would be hard, but enough to make him try and come forward. But it just didn't work. We could not get this donkey out.
Right.
Died.
Oops, fell off.
Join us next week on What a Legend!
At least it was the right way in to use the loo.
Yes, perhaps he was using the loo. That's why he wouldn't come out. He needed the loo.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. I say donkey, I mean fat bloke. I remember I was a fat bloke and I wanted to use the toilet. And he had one of those funny little Blackpool masks on of a donkey. It's all coming back to me now. I got arrested. I did 3 months in Parkhurst. I remember the story.
He's in 3 months in Parkhurst. But since we last did the show.
Michael is a prison officer.
So there we are. We need an answer. David's team. Is Michael Diane's ghostly guy, Bob's campsite client, or Lee's donkey do-gooder?
Well, what do you think?
See, when I heard Diane's story, I thought that was a lie. And then I heard Bob's story, and, Lee's story, and then suddenly Diane's story seems a little bit more real.
I think it's Bob. I think giving your man a haircut is the truth.
50 haircuts in a week, paid in egg sandwiches.
I don't know that you can do that hairstyle with one pair of scissors. I'm from a family of hairdressers, and I just don't think you can do Rod Stewart
from a family of hairdressers.
Scissors,
Did you have more than one pair of scissors with you?
No, well, my response to that, Nadia, is a family of not very good hairdressers. Two sets of scissors?
He looks round about Bob's age.
And Bob's haircut?
Yeah.
Can I just say, one final chance? He looks to me like a man who hangs round gentlemen's toilets.
I'm going with Diane.
Yeah.
Going with Diane. We'll settle it. David's
Diane.
team are saying that it is Diane. Michael, would you please confirm your true identity?
My name is Michael, and Bob gave me a haircut and a cancel.
They can actually see photographic evidence of Bob cutting Michael's hair. There they are.
Oh, my gosh.
It really did happen. Thank you very much, Michael.
For the past 15 years, I have performed my own dentistry.
David's team.
So,
give us a big grin.
It could be true.
I know that you're implying I'm a bad dentist.
No, because even very, very, very good dentists sometimes get someone else to do their teeth. And by sometimes, I of course mean always.
How do you do that? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, no, the key to it is I don't do extractions. I haven't had to.
Fillings?
I do fillings. I do fillings, crown replacement. I repair bridges. Specifically, I don't do, so don't ask, Stacey. I don't do implants. I don't do root canal.
Do you drill?
I do have a drill I use.
You have to do a filling, you've got to drill it out first, haven't
Exactly, yeah.
Do you use local anaesthetic?
Yeah.
No need.
No need?
No need.
Why? Because it's not true?
The situation in my mouth is I have one very long piece of teeth, that white bit there. That's all one piece, yeah?
What?
One piece. But made to look like many teeth.
Oh, I see. So that's false teeth.
Yes.
OK.
Either end of this, I have two, what you call crowns, yeah? Right at the end. At the bottom, I have my own teeth here. As my dentist says, my bottom one's a poppadom colour, yeah? And my top one's a pilo rice.
So who said that?
My dentist.
So this was some time ago?
No. David,
15 years.
I perform my own dentistry.
Yeah.
There's no exclusivity there.
You still have a dentist,
yes,
but you just don't let him do all the stuff.
Yes.
Why is your mouth in such a state?
Because I used to have 17 sugars in a cup of coffee or tea.
17?
17, yes.
17 in a mug?
Yes. If I had 18, it's too sweet for me. So the crowns would come off. I'd go to the dentist, yeah? He'd charge me £400, yeah? To put them back in. And it's outrageous. And I heard this magic word. I heard him say to his dental nurse, Fuji-9. Fuji-9, and I became aware that this Fuji-9, it's actually a luting cement, which means you can use it...
Are you sure he wasn't halfway through a Japanese football result?
You can actually use it... Mixed 1-to-1, the liquid and the powder, it's a cement, yeah? Mix 2-part liquid, then it becomes more malleable for fillings. I found a way via my TV work to get hold of some Fuji-9. Once you have Fuji-9, you are a dentist.
So what equipment do you have then?
All I have is my Fuji-9 with its little orange spoon, with a bigger end and a littler end.
For the different amounts, depending on whether you want the 50-50 or the 2-to-1.
That's Fuji-9.
Yeah.
It's all done for you. It's done for you.
It's magic. It's magic.
And then,
it's magic.
It's like the cement is softer than your teeth, yeah? So I have a leather maker's drill, yeah?
Leather maker's drill?
Yes, a leather maker's drill, because that has sanding fitments to grind it down. You got to check your bite after you fix the crown. If you get it a bit wonky, your bite won't be right. So you have to file the Fuji down. Oh, that bite's nice now. That's nice.
Okay, but yes, the other thing you've got to check after doing your own dentistry is your mental health.
Do you not need one of those special lights?
Kitchen island. I've got a kitchen island. It's nice to have a kitchen island, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it has it's the only place with a big light over it. So my son has a PlayStation seat that's very low back, like that.
PlayStation seat?
Yeah, it's a gamer's seat. And I put that on the kitchen
Island. On the kitchen island.
Put it on the island.
Yeah.
So you're up high on the island.
Yes, because then that puts the lamp about there.
And so you're in a PlayStation gamer's seat.
Yes.
Balancing on... What's the surface of the kitchen island?
Do you know, I think it's corian. It's very nice. Corian was originally what was used for autopsy surfaces. Again, so...
Are you doing your own autopsies at home as well?
Oh, what to say?
Bob, the dog's dead. Bring it in. Bring it in.
So, if I was to say this, the hardest thing is there's somewhere to hold the mirror.
I think the hardest thing is to sell the story, Bob.
I have the most curved Indian instrument called a samashi or something. And if I put it next to me on my gaming thing, the curve of it, it's like a flute thing. The curve of it goes there, and I can put my mirror there like that. Got the light there, game thing.
Sorry, you hang the mirror on the end of a curvaceous Indian musical instrument.
Yes.
But this is very specific.
So what's it going to be?
There's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
If he was trying to make this story plausible, why would he say the way I set up the mirror is that I tie it to the end of an Indian musical instrument?
Do you remember Bob being on this show before?
Yes, and it's always true. It's true about the masks in Castle Douglas. It was true about him being able to tear an apple apart with his bare hands. It was true about the game in the gardens.
Well, look, whether or not it's true, and we don't know yet, don't try it at home.
Do you ever do extractions, Bob?
I've never done an extraction.
Because I genuinely had an extraction yesterday, look. You see it out there?
Oh, they've not used Fuji.
All right, so what's it going to be?
I think it's true.
You think it's what?
I think it's true.
So, Bob, is it the truth or is it a lie?
It is true.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Jonathan. So, Debbie, what is Jonathan to you?
Well, this is Jonathan, and when he was a baby, I used to pull him out of a top hat.
Bob, how do you know Jonathan?
This is my friend Jonathan, and I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with him.
Right. And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Jonathan?
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the two of us spent 3 hours trapped in an automatic car wash.
David's team, where will you begin?
Well, Debbie, so you used to pull Jonathan out of a top hat?
Yeah.
And so, how old was he then?
About 6 months.
6 months.
Was he a rabbit at that stage? He's grown up into a lovely bunny.
What a cougar comment that was.
He's going for it, though. Look, he's aflame with desire. Look at him.
He's got the right hairstyle to be pulled out of a top hat.
So, where did this happen?
This was in a summer season in Bournemouth.
Debbie, how big was the top hat then?
It was a prop top hat, so it was a bit bigger than a normal one. But, you know, babies aren't very big. He was only about this big.
6 months, not very big.
Yeah.
And so...
And was he the son of someone else in the summer season? Or
No,
one of the Chuckle Brothers' offspring or something?
No, it was a feature in the show, and we had different babies on different nights. You know, they were like in rotation, and they came from an agency.
So, who would bring Jonathan to the theatre?
His mother.
His mother?
Yeah.
And what would happen to him? I mean, I don't want you to give away the magic trick too much, but where was he stowed to the moment where he's pulled out of the top hat?
I can't tell you because I'm a member of the Magic Circle and I can't give
That
the
is a
secrets
really
away.
handy thing for this game. I like it. Can you come on every week?
Well, don't give anything away, Debbie, but talk us through the trick.
There was a pretend rabbit, and then Paul would lift this big top hat from underneath and tipped it forward. And that's when I would come over as the assistant and take Jonathan out and say, And here's the rabbits turned into a real live baby.
And the audience
And I'd
went,
be like
boo, we hate babies.
No, they
How long did they have to wait to be revealed?
Not very long. It wasn't a very long trick.
So they were only briefly on stage before the
They were only briefly in
reveal
terrifying darkness alone.
Which they are in a cot when they go to sleep at night.
And indeed in a womb.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the ultimate trick, isn't it?
Now, who would you like to question next?
Bob,
remind us what it was that you've said. How do you know Jonathan?
Because I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with Jonathan.
what are the names of your award-winning beers?
The one that's my favourite is called Kiss the Alderman. That's an IPA.
Kiss the Alderman, an IPA, yes.
IPA. Another one was a stout, and it was called Retail Park.
Retail Park.
And the other one was a lager, and that was called Not Now, Madam. It seems funny now. That's why we used it.
Madam Lager. Kiss the Alderman, Retail Park.
Can I just say, he's written these down, so I hope you can remember them.
How long did you two work together for?
About 2 years ago, I was in the field, Dion, collecting some mud to go and bury at home in my garden. And along came Jonathan, or J-Keg, as I call him. And he said, I recognise you off the telly, you're that Ray Mears, is what he said. And we got chatting, and he said, do you like beer? I said, I like beer. He said, would you like to brew some beer? And
quick!
I said, yes, I would, rather urgently, actually.
I've run out!
And he's got a brewery, JPEG.
Yeah.
It's a lean-to next to a barn, right next to the field where I was. It's quite big, actually. It might be a lean 3 or a lean 4. So I went in this marvellous little brewery that I'm imagining, and we mashed. Well, part of the process is mashing.
Right.
You put a load of water in the cylinder, and you have to stir the malt barley.
Yeah.
And I did that bit of it. And I thought, I adore this. Is there any way that I could see this process through, and we could call this beer Kiss the Alderman?
What is the Alderman?
He's an unelected council official. Say, for example, let's focus in on Bolton.
Yeah.
So if Bolton had a large Chinese community, but there was no representatives, councillors, they would say, would you like to informally nominate one of your Chinese community, and they will become an alderman, and they will sit on the council and be able to represent.
Right. No, that makes sense. So we've definitely covered what happens to the Chinese community in Bolton. However, back to the beer story.
Yeah, so and that was Kiss the Alderman. So we brewed 1,000 litres, bottled it, and it was the top beer in the Kent Craft Ale Society.
Can I ask, my husband is a brewer, what hops did you use?
Citrus hops. One of them's called something, and the other one likewise is named as well.
I mean, this all checks out.
You know what? The thing that is the hipster brewing beard. If you were to say to me, draw a brewer, that's what I'd draw.
That's what you draw now. It's very interesting.
Now.
Whereas,
wow, really?
Whereas if someone asked you to draw a brewer 30 years ago, you'd draw someone very different, wouldn't you?
I'd draw you.
Now, what about Lee? Lee, remind us of your claim.
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the two of us got trapped for 3 hours in an automatic car wash.
Where was it? Where was the car wash?
It was just outside the car. Near where I live in southwest London.
Whose car was it? Who's driving?
It was my car.
And was Jonathan in your car with you?
Correct, he was the passenger.
Why? How do you know
Because
Jonathan?
we can't both drive.
How do you know Jonathan?
I know Jonathan because we're in the same football team.
What is it, a bring your granddad team?
So you were you driving back from football?
Driving to football.
Driving to football.
Washing your car on the way to football. Oh, I'm looking forward to the game, young Jonathan. I really can't wait. But tell you what, let's wash the car first, so that when we arrive, everybody says, oh, Lee's doing well.
You drove into the car wash, and what happened?
So, there was 3 options. It was gold, silver or bronze. And obviously, being from the north of England, I was looking for a lesser metal than all 3. But it stopped at bronze. So I went in and I said, can I have a car wash? And he gave me the token, and I went back out and I
Was it a token? Sometimes it's a code these days.
All right, then what he said was, the token is where the squirrel likes to hide.
When I say code, I don't mean riddle. I mean a series of numbers that you put into a keypad.
On this occasion, it wasn't.
You put the token in the slot.
Yes.
You advance into the car wash. The weird things start going.
Yeah, so the big brush at the front that goes over your bonnet, that came towards us.
Yeah.
And then the side ones came. It was the side ones that caused the main issue. They got to the door, stopped, and just kept doing that. And we couldn't open the doors. And it did not stop for 3 hours. I know, it sounds unbelievable.
What? Why don't you climb over into the back seat and get out one of the rear doors?
Because it's a 2-door car.
And I'm assuming this happened before the invention of the mobile phone.
No, that was not true. It was during the invention of the mobile phone.
During it?
During the invention. No, in fact, do you know what we did? We were so stuck, didn't know what to do for 3 hours, we decided to invent the mobile phone. No, it was... his phone was in his sports bag, in the boot.
Where was your phone?
My phone was with me.
Why didn't you use your phone?
Because the battery had gone.
How did you eventually get out?
I absolutely screamed and screamed, and this stranger passing by saw a big button on the thing that said, emergency stop. So he pressed the button, and it stopped, and when it stopped, it reset itself back to how it should be. We opened the door, and I went in. And he went, you're back again. I said, yes, that's about my car. So what's up? I said, tell you what's up. The doors are phenomenally clean.
All right. We need an answer. So, David's team. Is Jonathan Debbie's magic mate, Bob's brewing buddy, or Lee's car wash companion?
I can't believe Lee's story is the kind of story I would have to invent to tell my husband if I'd been in a car with Jonathan for 3 hours. Jonathan looks like a hipster brewer to me.
What do you think?
I think it's Bob. I think they're mates and they've done some brewing together, yeah.
Yeah, OK,
You think Bob met him in a field while collecting mud? He said, come and have a look at my brewery.
Yes.
And we're going to call our beer Kiss My Alderman.
It's not Kiss My Alderman. It's Kiss the Alderman.
I'm so sorry. If it's true, I'm sorry.
Rob, you can immediately appreciate why Kiss the Alderman is much more marketable than Kiss My Alderman. I certainly call mine the Alderman.
But very popular with the Chinese community.
So, David, what are you going to say?
I think my team thinks it's Bob. Yeah, but let's go.
OK, you're going to say Bob. OK. Jonathan, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jonathan, and I brew beer with Bob.
Yes, Jonathan is Bob's brewing buddy. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
My first taste of fame was when the local newspaper dubbed me the Cockroach King.
David's team.
What was the newspaper?
My local. It was called the South London Press.
So, are you from South London?
I was in the lead-up to the headline, The Cockroach King.
Why were you in the public eye doing what?
I was a solicitor at the time, and I sued the local authority. Because of cockroach infestations in the council houses. Yes! That's what I did.
And of course, it was that kind of style in court that won the day.
We settled outside of court, actually. But I had to change the names because these are real legal proceedings that we're talking about.
Right. Well, why does the fact that it's real legal proceedings mean you have to change the names?
Because I don't think it's fair to say that, let's say she's called Barbara Lighthouse. Lived in the horror of cockroach infestation.
Were you representing Barbara Lighthouse?
I was, yes.
She'd engaged your services?
She's engaged my services. I visited her property.
Must have been ages to get to the top.
There were Egyptian cockroaches. So I had an idea, right? I said, I bet this is bad for your mental health, living with cockroaches. And I took them to the magistrate's court on a private criminal prosecution under the Public Health Act.
Why are you counting every letter in the same? Are you working out how much to charge her?
You mentioned the Egyptian cockroach.
The Egyptian cockroach,
How
yeah.
many? I wasn't aware there were different types.
They live in the concrete, and they can actually live off the concrete that the buildings are made of.
So, Bob,
concrete?
Yep.
Bob, they got some hard cockroaches. They live in the concrete.
They nip out to go behind the fridge or the cooker, or to turn the light out.
What were the size of these Egyptian cockroaches?
They're long and thin, slip right in.
That's my profile on Tinder.
It is odd the cockroach king would suggest a champion of the cockroach rather than an opponent.
Or in fact, their leader.
Yes.
Did you lead the cockroaches away like the Pied Piper?
No, I didn't. What happened is I got an expert from the University of Cambridge called Broccoli High Kicks. Again, I've changed his name. His brief from me was, can you in any way argue that this is contrary to public health? He confirmed it, went to court. It's all coming ever so clear now. We went to court, yeah. Ronnie Omlets was the housing officer.
The weird thing is you haven't changed his name, have you?
And what was she called? Barbara Lighthouse. Barbara Lighthouse brought a clear jar of the cockroaches with her and poured them over Ronnie Omlets. Right? Of course, he was very frightened, didn't know what to do, at which point Barbara Lighthouse said, I think I've made my point, you know, to the housing officer.
Yeah.
This is what I live with. So, the council agreed to rehouse. Next day, the cockroach king.
Right, what are you going to say, David?
What do you think?
It's that bizarre that only Bob could make it up, so I think that's true.
That doesn't make sense. If you're saying only Bob could make it up, then he could have made it up.
No, only Bob can make it up like that.
Right.
So convincing.
Yeah. So we're in trouble, aren't we? Because you're saying that if anyone else had said it, it would definitely be true because they couldn't have invented it. The one person who's saying it is also coincidentally the only human who could also have invented it.
Yes.
What a terrible set of circumstances. You think it's true? Do you think it's true?
Yes, let's say it's true.
We're going to go true.
OK. Now, Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth. I once helped Damon Hill to Grand Prix success by presenting him with a pre-race snack?
David's team.
Well, it certainly tripped off the tongue.
Thank you.
What was the snack?
A Scotch egg.
And is there a definite correlation between him eating that Scotch egg and him being successful?
He felt that the Scotch egg had helped him succeed in the race. He told me so.
Is Damon Hill a close friend, Bob?
No.
Then why were you giving him foodstuff?
Well, I'd been invited to the Grand Prix.
Which Grand Prix?
The British.
In which year?
Think.
1996, David, but I'm not willing to exclude 4 years either side of that. Put it this way, it was definitely one of the decades.
Do you like racing, then?
No, I'm not a Formula One fan.
Right.
I probably prefer soil science.
OK. Who was he driving for?
He was driving for a company that had very fast company cars.
So, why were you permitted access to a major racing driver?
Because his manager, Shane Tobacco... I can't remember his name.
You can't remember his name.
Shane, or whoever it was also with another bloke, you know, benefiting from hospitality.
What was his name?
Let's say Top Heavy Ken. But I remember we went upstairs on the bus. Damon was there. He had a bed in there.
Like a sort of Winnebago.
Yeah. And it had, you know, mugs with I love cars, I love handbrakes, I love headrests.
And this is the day of the race.
David, this is just like an hour and a half before the race.
An hour and a half before the race. You've turned up an hour and a half early, because even though you're more into soil science, you want to soak up the atmosphere with a good hour and a half of waiting before the televised traffic begins.
Yes.
So you turn up. The last thing Damon needs before a race is any quiet time. He just wants a bit of hubbub on his bus. Were there any other people there apart from you and Shane and Damon?
I was with my wife as well, yeah.
OK.
And...
Top Heavy Ken.
So me and the wife went up. I think when you go to someone's home or their Winnebago or whatever, you should... Do you know, like, if you're going to a dinner party at someone's house, you'll always take them a bottle of vinegar, yeah?
So your gift to thank him for the hospitality was a Scotch egg?
No. I call it pocket meat. Whenever I'm away from the house, I have pocket meat.
Yeah.
That's it. I have, like, a chicken leg or pork pie. And I thought, I've got some pocket meat. It was a Scotch egg in its cellophane. And I said, Damon, we all know that if you pop a sausage roll in an American's pocket, it brings him good luck. I said, maybe a Scotch egg would work for a British fella like you. And I gave it to him.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, very much.
What, that if you put meat in an American's pocket...
Processed meat.
Have you ever heard of that?
Not really, no.
No.
It's all been a bit of a lot of talking. I've quite forgotten the original bit of the story. Did he eat said Scotch egg before the race?
I'll never know, Samantha, but after the race, he said that he took the Scotch egg round with him. He swore he did.
In the car?
I don't know whether he put it in the glove box on the passenger seat. Whether he ate it.
But, Bob, you're not claiming that he ate the egg.
All I'll say is that when I was watching, when Damon went past, in his tailwind, a person next to me said, Damon's tailwind smelt really meggy, which of course is meat and egg. Meat and egg.
Okay. So what are we thinking, Sam?
Do you know what? Sometimes stories are so mad that they've got to be true.
What I would say here is be wary when it comes to Bob.
Oh, OK.
Do you remember, David, I think it was the last time Bob was with us, he told us Chris Rea told him to put an egg into his bath.
I can't even remember. Was that true?
No.
But you believed it was true?
Yes.
Miles, what are you thinking?
Well, I think that you're sort of somewhat cynically using this as an opportunity to tout your kind of charms. And you're hoping to kind of drum up work, and then your agent's going to get lots of phone calls saying, "Oh, would Bob Mortimer be able to sort of slip Gareth Bale a pasty and stuff like this?"
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie, but you think it's true?
I'm on the fence.
Oh, dear.
This is a horrible situation. I don't know. My instinct is it's a lie.
You're saying lie? OK, Bob Mortimer. A lucky Scotch egg for Damon Hill at the British Grand Prix. Truth or lie?
I was telling the truth.
He's done it again.
On a dark winter's night, I once broke into the garden of the local witch's house and was shocked by what I found there.
David, Steve.
OK, at what point...
There's a lot of questions, isn't there?
At what point in your life did this happen?
I'm going to guess somewhere between when I was 11 and 13.
12?
I'm going to say 12.
And you say the local witch's house. What do you mean by that?
I mean, this is a very distant memory now.
OK.
It was the house, not very far from me, where all the kids said that the witch lived.
And who did live there?
I don't know their name.
Right.
I'll call them Mary Candles. It had hedges at the front, you know, it's like uncut hedges, a front gate covered with hedging, and it said on the front gate, it said simply the words, "No thanks."
No, really?
So that's quite creepy, isn't it?
Can I ask a question? You started that with saying you were shocked by what you saw there.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, shocked by what I found there.
So what did you find there?
I'm not comfortable with telling you that just yet. Sorry, I'm not.
This is going so far, it's got to be a lie, isn't it?
Let me just say, it does not have to be a lie. Whatever he says, however absurd, it could still be true. However plausible, it could still be a lie. It's just, essentially, what we are doing for this section is entirely futile. We will talk for a bit, then we will guess, then it will be over.
So how did you come to go into this house? Who were you with?
I was with, what's he called? I was with Ken Numbers. I changed it, yeah. Ronnie Calculator's son. The vibe is, it's very unkempt, it's the gardening, because as we all know, Lee, witches hate gardening, wizards hate plumbing. Right? So we knew it was a female residence.
Right. So you've never seen Mary Candles, but you're only speculating it must be a witch rather than a wizard because it was an unkempt garden with no sign of deficient plumbing.
Exactly. And, you know, we wanted to be the first people who said, no, we penetrated, you know, its boundaries.
Yeah.
We went into the front lawn, down a gate to the side, past the bins, past the back door, and then to the window where there was a light on, a big picture window, looked inside, and that's when we saw this extraordinary sight. Well, extraordinary to us as 12-year-olds.
What was it? You've got to say.
It was a tiny, tiny horse. And I'm not saying it was watching television, that was all that was in the room. It was a tiny horse and a television on. I did get in the house.
You got in the house?
Yes, Mrs. Candles came out.
Right.
Yes, and she said to me, "You're one of the Mortimer boys, aren't you?"
Were you?
Yeah. So Ken said. And she said, "Would you like to come in and see the horse?" And she took us in, and it stank of paraffin. It was hot.
That horse?
Hot. No, the house.
I thought about the horse stunk of paraffin.
The horse did stink, actually.
Did he?
Yeah.
Of?
Meat, hot meat. As we were looking at the horse, I always remember this, she came in, and she had a toilet seat in her hand. And she said, "If I gave you some money, do you think you could get rid of this for me?"
What did you do with it?
Just threw it on our way home, just threw it somewhere else, I imagine.
Did she say what the horse's name was?
Max.
Mack?
You'd have thought minimum.
All right, well, now, Suggs, what are you thinking about this?
I mean, you know, it's so preposterous, but David's flung me by saying this is the way he carries on anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
I mean, but no, I'm saying lie, of course.
You say it's a lie.
It was when you said the horse smelt like hot meat.
Well, do you remember the detail of the paraffin heaters?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We're talking 40, maybe 50 degrees there with those old...
40 or 50 degrees centigrade. So we're talking like the temperature of the desert in Saudi Arabia.
Did you ever see Mary Candles again?
No, never.
Never saw her again?
Never saw her again.
She probably melted in that heat.
All right, what are you going to say then, David?
Do we think lie?
I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie.
I think it is a lie.
All right, they're saying it's a lie. Now, we should bear in mind that when it comes to Bob, David has a very poor track record. Let's see if he can be better tonight. Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth. I recently had to pull out of a TV show because my teeth fell out.
David's team.
What was the TV show?
Sunday brunch.
And why had your teeth fallen out?
Because I bit on a Kit Kat chunky.
I may need you to take...
I'll take the reins.
Lead counsel on this.
OK, so, Bob, for many years, a Kit Kat Chunky was my favourite chocolate because of the lack of suction. Now, you bite into a Curly Whirly, you ain't never getting those teeth back, right?
But when you say the lack of suction, what in God's name do you mean?
What I'm saying here, if you bite into a Curly Whirly, it engulfs your tooth and it ain't letting go.
But it's not suction, is it?
It is suction because it creates a vacuum of ooze.
I am on Munya's side about the word suction in this instance.
Thank you. Oh, on his side?
Yeah, he's Munya, you're Rob, remember?
You're on his side?
Because it is a sort of suction. It sticks, and as it pulls, it creates a vacuum of ooze.
That's it.
Right. So what happened? What befell your teeth?
I keep my Kit Kat chunkies in the fridge, so it was very hard. So it's like biting into a rock, and I lost.
But not the freezer, though. Just the fridge.
It's. Do you know what? It's a fridge drawer.
Oh, one of those drawers that are refrigerated.
Yeah.
Oh, they're very fancy.
Oh, what a purchase! Yeah.
What's the context under which you're eating this? Is it relaxed?
I wasn't thinking about anything in particular. Maybe the band ELO.
Which period of ELO's career would you have been dwelling on?
The early period before they met in Birmingham.
Before they met?
Yes, before
so
they met.
weren't even a band?
No. What are you going to do with your life? I don't know, maybe make stop cubes. Maybe we should start a band.
But you said you were on Sunday brunch, or did I imagine that?
No, I had to cancel my...
Oh, you cancelled Sunday brunch?
I lost everyone.
What?
You bit into it with abandon. Yeah. You lost, 4 top teeth?
9.
No. 9?
All along the top. You take one bite from
one
this...
bite.
And that's it, 9 teeth are toast.
No.
Yes.
No. It can't be. It can't be. The girth of a Kit Kat Chunky is not 9 teeth.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have put it better. It's only going to take 4, 5 maximum.
If it was 3 teeth, would you believe it? In which case...
Too late to change your mind, Bob.
Yes, I would.
You believe it was 3?
Yes.
You want to think around that.
Why?
Because it might help you to decide whether it's true or false.
No.
That's the mind games.
OK, David, it's time to decide, truth or lie.
What do you think?
OK, I did think it was the truth, just because of everything that's happened.
Yeah,
but now I think the amount of teeth...
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Imagine it's a lie.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you down to my hell. But why would he go for 9? Wouldn't he go for a more believable number if he was making it up?
That's true. He would have gone for
So
2.
why would he say 9 unless it's true?
I can see through Bob, and I know this is a lie. It's up to you, but I'm telling the truth. It's a
What do
lie,
you think?
David. It's true.
Do you think it's true?
Yeah, but it
It's a
doesn't
lie,
say
David.
9
You think
teeth
it's
on
lie?
the card, though. It just says teeth. It just says teeth. He could be trying to be like...
David,
Say
it's
off.
just a game.
It's true.
I think it's true.
No, David.
No, I don't. I think it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
We're going
It's a lie.
I don't know what I think.
All right,
but I'm saying it's a lie.
Bob, they think it's a lie. Was it a lie? Or were you telling the truth?
I was telling the truth.
Yes, it's true. Now, Bob did have to pull out a Sunday brunch when his teeth fell out, and we've got a picture. Take a look at this.